Hello friends, and happy Straturday. Psyberry here with another Darkest Dungeon How to Use guide. Briefly, before I jump into this, thank you for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, and share this guide with a friend. Alright, all that shit out of the way, let's do this. Today, we're going to take a deep dive into how to play the Legion. The Legion was released June 29th of 2021, and last updated July 6th of 2021. The canon name is Nemo. And briefly, the credits. Cryptics did the programming, the design, and the sounds. Refined Turtle Flesh did the original concept and art. And NBB did the animations. So let's go through the base stats real quick. At first resolve, you're going to have 32 HP. This is going to increase to a 52 at max resolve, which is a high amount of HP, really. It's comparable to the Crusader or the Man-at-Arms, so you're pretty tanky. If you want an exact tracking, they only progress by 5 HP every level, so it's actually a little less of a gain as you level up than the Crusader or the Man-at-Arms would get, but it's still pretty comparable, even by end level. The dodge is a 0 at first level and a 20 at max level. This is below average, but it's actually not bad, and for this class it kind of fits, especially if you kind of plan accordingly. The prod is 0, nothing to see here. Speed is a 3 at first resolve. It progresses to a 4 at third level and a 5 at max level. So this is kind of a average speed level. It's Man-at-Arms and Arbalist have the same speed growth, so you'll find very similar turn order fashion with this, just because of that speed. Accuracy is 0, the crit is a 3%, and at max level it will be a 7%. I consider this to be average crit, but it's actually pretty good. You'll actually get a decent amount of crits with him, depending on what move you're using. It's the same crit tracking as a Crusader, for comparison's sake. And finally, the damage is 5 to 10 at first resolve, and this will progress to a 9 to 16 at max resolve. I consider this to be good frontline damage. This is, I think, the exact same tracking at each level as the Highwayman, if I'm not mistaken. So you're going to find similar offensive output, and even some riposte tech we'll get into in a little bit. So let's dive right into the combat skills. You'll notice that all of them are activated. This is a unorthodox transformation class, and I'll kind of try and sum it up the best of my understanding as we need clarity throughout this. So the first skill is Blood of the Legion. Now this skill I'm going to read and then we're going to discuss for a little bit. Blood of the Legion, it's usable from any rank. You're going to gain 1 stack of Bloodlust, and per turn limit, you can use this skill twice per turn. This move, and a skill that replaces the move skill in combat called Stoic Duty, these are going to give you stacks of Bloodlust or remove stacks of Bloodlust as you see fit. So you're going to take your turn, you're going to use, if you want more Bloodlust for mechanical reasons, you can select Blood of the Legion up to twice, and then select which skill you want to use. Similarly, you can do the same with Stoic Duty. You can go down stacks of Bloodlust as well. Typically, you are gated off from going higher than 6 Bloodlust, or lower than 1 Bloodlust, which is what you start out as. There is a fabled 0 Bloodlust and 7 Bloodlust that I'm still trying to figure out mechanically how to enter. It's a little weird to me. So if you guys know how to do it and you want to share that with each other, put it in the comments. I'll pin it if it's informative enough and whatnot. But basically, this is how you control his transformation, more or less. Second ability is Legion Standard. It's usable from rank 1, 2, or 3. This is going to buff a selected target, and that target is going to receive 30% additional damage while guarded. So they're going to be well empowered to do damage while they are being guarded. And they're going to have a plus 75% stress heals received from kills and crits. So when you get a kill and it lucks into the stress heal, you're going to get 75% more out of it at this level each time that happens. And crits, I believe that activates every time you crit. So those are actually going to be far more depending on your party. And these last two lines here, plus 10% damage buff per stack of Bloodlust, that just means for each stack of Bloodlust, that 30% damage bonus is going to go up by 10%. And additionally, minus 50% stress heal received buff per stack of Bloodlust. So the lower Bloodlust you are, the less effective these buffs are going to be. But if you are above 2 Bloodlust, you can't select this, as it requires Bloodlust below 2. So this is kind of a unique buff, and it synergizes well with the next skill we're going to talk about. The third ability is Tetsudo Formation. This is usable from rank 1 or 2, and you are going to guard everyone else in your party for 2 rounds. You're going to buff yourself, plus 25% prot while guarding, plus 10% prot buff per stack of Bloodlust, and minus 1 guard duration per stack of Bloodlust. Requires Bloodlust below 3. So you're not going to be able to select this at higher Bloodlust. And actually, you kind of only really, unless you're in a dire situation, you only really want to use this at Bloodlust 1 or below. Because if you're using this at Bloodlust 2, and you only get 1 round of guard, it is really only useful for that in danger scenario where you've got somebody on death's door, and your healer can't get to them, and you're concerned about that. Then you can force guard on everybody, and hope. Is basically how I would do it. But you could basically use this move at Bloodlust 1, Tetsudo Formation, be guarding everyone, and then buff somebody to get these huge buffs while they're guarded, and basically re-up the guard when you can, and maybe use March of the Damned or something in between. It's actually a decent kind of build if you want to play that support role. The fourth ability is March of the Damned. It's usable from rank 3 or 4, and can target rank 1, 2, or 3 enemies. This is a ranged attack that will move Legion forward 1 rank. Has an accuracy base of 100, and a minus 60% damage mod. This doesn't have a crit modifier, so you're going to get the generic 3%. This is going to mark the target that you hit, minus 1 mark duration per stack of Bloodlust. So the less Bloodlust you have, the longer that mark is going to last. I believe it's generic 3 turns. So if you are a Bloodlust like 3 or 4, you're not going to get a lot out of that mark unless your team works quickly. And then with yourself, you're going to heal 5% of your max HP when you hit with this move, and receive a buff of plus 45% healing received per stack of Bloodlust. So you're actually going to get more healing out of this the more Bloodlusty you are. This requires Bloodlust below 4, so it will deactivate if you have a Bloodlust that does not qualify. The fifth ability is Gut Them, usable from rank 1 or 2, and can target rank 1 or 2 enemies. This is a melee attack with an accuracy base of 85. This does full damage, and has a crit mod of plus 5%. This will do an additional 30% damage versus marked targets, and an additional plus 30% damage versus marked targets per stack of Bloodlust above 3. That sounds complex, but that's just the only way that can really be stated accurately. Basically, you require at least 2 Bloodlust to use this move, but for every one above 3 that you have, you're going to get an additional 30% damage versus marked targets. So if you really want to get the biggest bang for your buck on this, 6 Bloodlust is going to get you a ton of damage as a bonus. just make sure whoever you're attacking is marked, and you're golden. But when you use this, it's going to debuff yourself plus 10% damage taken per stack of Bloodlust above 3, so that is a double-edged sword, if I've ever seen one. But this is basically meat and potatoes generic attack for the Bloodlust variety of the Legion.
Another one falls.
The 6th ability, Vedivici, is usable from rank 2, 3, or 4, and can select any rank of opponent. It's a ranged attack with an accuracy base of 80. This has a damage mod of negative 30% and a normal crit mod. This will, however, gain a 15% crit chance versus marked targets, and an additional 15% crit chance versus marked per stack of Bloodlust above 3. So similarly to Gut Them, you're going to get effectively a lot of crits with this at high Bloodlust. This is a good way to, I won't say guarantee crits, but damn near guarantee crits if you need them. The only concern you have here is that he's not actually growing in damage capacity, he's just maximizing it. So you're not getting as big of a return if damage is your concern as you would with Gut Them, but it is a good way to get crits reliably. This will, on the other end of that double-edged sword, have a -5 accuracy versus not marked opponents per stack of Bloodlust above 3. So keep in mind, the higher that Bloodlust goes, if you're aiming for a target that is not marked, you're gonna have that missed chance come in. So be very careful if you're using this to mind the mark timers and make sure you're aiming for marked targets.
Another abomination cleansed from our lands.
And the 7th ability is Marshal Pride. This is usable from rank 1 or 2, and will target every enemy. This is a ranged attack with an accuracy base of 130, a damage mod of negative 100% for the default no damage, and does not have a crit mod. This is going to debuff the target, minus 20% damage versus non-marked opponents. This will mark yourself. This is going to activate Riposte. That Riposte is going to receive a plus 30% damage versus marked per stack of Bloodlust above 3. It's very similarly built to the Gut Them in that way. You're going to get more damage out of these Riposte swings the more Bloodlust you have. But also, with that Riposte, you're going to have plus 5% crits received chance per stack of Bloodlust above 3. So you were going to receive crits more often, and you were going to do more damage with these Ripostes per stack of Bloodlust. And basically what you're forcing the enemies into is if they're going to be attacking your allies who are not marked, because you are marking yourself with this move, if they were attacking your allies, they're going to be weaker. They're going to be 20% weaker at base level. So you're actually kind of saving them from taking a lot of damage without outright guarding. So this is a very interesting move that I honestly use a ton. This will require Bloodlust of 4 or more, so this is the high Bloodlust moveset. Alright, let's briefly go through the camping skills real quick. We'll have Courage, Wound Care, and Pep Talk, as expected, and the first unique camping skill is Tactical Correction. This is a time cost 2 skill. You're going to select a companion, and they're going to receive 15% damage for 4 battles and plus 2 speed for 4 battles. This is a pretty good ally buff, and it's pretty cheap, so it's typically something if you've got the extra time cost at the end of your camp, this is not a bad way to fill it. And just choose somebody who's your offensive master and go with it. The second unique camping skill is Inductio Unius Auxilia, which is time cost 3. All companions are going to receive minus 15% stress when they are guarded for 4 battles, and plus 7 accuracy while guarded for 4 battles. So this is a interesting one, and it's very good if you were going to be using Tetsudo formation and a low Bloodlust kind of fighting style. This is honestly just going to expand the bonuses you're going to get, and it works real real well with Legion Standard as well, because you can give them the high damage and the stress heal on kills and crits, and they're not going to miss as much. So it's kind of nice. The third unique camping skill is Tremendous Arrogance. It's a time cost 3. You're going to target yourself. You're going to receive a plus 25% damage while Bloodlust stacks over 3. Plus 10% crit while Bloodlust stacks over 3. Minus 10 dodge, though, while Bloodlust stacks over 3. And a plus 15% damage received while Bloodlust stacks over 3. These are all for 4 battles. Basically, it's another one of those double-edged swords. You're going to get these big bonuses. You're going to be very glass cannon-y. And you're just not going to avoid attacks, and you're going to take a lot of damage when you do this. So, if you want more offensive output, if that is your build with this, then this is probably pretty good. I find it's a little more risk than I've run very often, but for those who like high risk, high reward, this is your skill. And the last camping skill is Undying Resilience. It's a time cost 3 camp skill. You are going to target yourself and receive a 15% death blow resist for 4 battles. You're going to heal 15% of your HP, minus 15 stress, and remove mortality debuffs. This is like the king of self-care heal moves, because time cost 3 isn't that bad for all you're getting. This is very protective in nature, so if you got a mortality debuff, this is a really good way to clear that. It's not the cheapest mortality debuff clear, but it is pretty effective for what it does. The heal 15% HP, I mean, that's very comparable to Wound Care itself. You're just not getting the Blight and Bleed, and in its place you're also getting the Encourage Stress Heal. So honestly, it's a very good hybrid skill that isn't all that expensive. So a couple other things to keep in mind with the Legion. The crit effect is going to give allies a buff for plus 25% damage versus marked targets, and plus 5 accuracy versus marked targets. So every time he gets a crit, he's going to make his allies more synergistic with marked comps, if that makes sense. So he's going to reward putting him in a marked comp more often than not, so the more of that kind of synergy you got in your party, the better. Other than that, synergy-wise, he's very good as a guard unit. He can pretty much guard the entire party. So, interestingly, you can put him with like the Thorn in rank 2 or 3 and use the Thorn's heal move while Tetsudo formation is active and heal everyone with that move, because everyone is being guarded or is guarding. So interestingly, it works pretty well with the Thorn, which I have not made a comp of, but I find that would be pretty interesting. Otherwise, he's very good with Mark Synergy, and he's a pretty good riposte guy if you're running high enough Bloodlust. As far as other considerations, what quirks would I run on him? I would probably prioritize Dodge as the highest on this guy. And actually, HP is not a bad option for quirks. Like, Tough? Is that the one for 10% bonus HP? Because typically they're not very effective because of the low number of HP on the classes who need it. But with somebody like this, who's guarding literally every other ally, the more HP the better. But also you're going to get bigger returns off of a percentage-based buff. So 10% for him is better than 10% for an Antiquarian, for example. But other than that, Dodge or Crit particularly might be really, really good things to prioritize when picking quirks. Corbin's Grace is probably the best thing you're going to find, and Luminous, things like that. Other than that, I think we'll dive through his trinkets real quick. I do not have it reined in yet. Oh god, where are your trinkets? Oh god, why? Okay, there they are. And we're going to start with Praetorian's Vow. This is the very rare trinket. It's going to give a plus 20% to max HP, bonus of plus 20% healing received when guarding, plus 3 damage when guarding, minus 20% damage when not guarding. So this is going to be very good with like Tetsudo formation or potentially even another ally that can force guard on him, because it doesn't necessitate you use Tetsudo formation specifically. So if you want to set up riposte and still use this, just come in with a force guard unit and force guard on your marked legion, and then use what's it called again? Marshal Pride, and just rain down ripostes on everybody with your plus 3 damage mod. That plus 3 is not a percent, it's literally adding 3 to your low end and top end damage, which is pretty fun. The next one is Officer's Falera. I'm not sure if I pronounced that right. It's going to give you a plus 10 accuracy with ranged skills, and plus 20% damage with ranged skills. And on a ranged attack hit, it's going to debuff the target for both minus 10 dodge and minus 2 speed. This is built for endgame. It's got that 140% debuff base, so it's going to be pretty relevant even at low levels. Like, at low levels, it's going to be really potent. It's going to hit those debuffs like... it's going to feel like all the time. And as you level up, it'll still be balanced for that. You just might have to take the edge off with a plus debuff trinket or something. But overall, it's a fun way to use his ranged skills. The next trinket is Optio Helmet. This is going to, on melee attack hit, mark target. And on a monster kill, you're going to buff the others, so your allies, plus 5% resolve XP with 100% base. So basically, every time you kill something, you are going to give a bonus percent of resolve XP to your allies. So when you finish that quest, that buff is going to accumulate, and you could receive, I don't know, twice the normal amount of XP with all your allies. It's a good way to like level up lower level heroes, and also since he's so protective, he's a good like shepherd of lower level heroes, if that makes sense. So if you can bring him in on a quest and 3 lower level guys for him to take care of, as long as they have a good healer among them, this is a really good way to get people up to speed, and it's kind of a fun trinket. I'm glad they included it. And the next one we're going to go over is the Brass Laurel. When you use Legion Standard, the target is going to heal 5 stress, and on any monster kill, you are going to de-stress for 5. So Legion Standard is that while guarded buff you can give to an ally, so this pretty much locks you into that low Bloodlust kind of playstyle, but it's an interesting way to also make him kind of a stress healer in that way, and that is actually kind of fun. You can kind of pick your poison as far as who you're going to amplify their attacking potency from turn to turn. And the last one before we get to what I'm actually equipping is the Pouch of Denari. On a monster kill, you're going to generate salary, which I believe... I haven't used this. I believe that would probably be like an inventory item that is just... it's money, I imagine. So basically, every time you kill something, you're going to get paid, which is actually kind of nice. It's kind of like having a bounty, honestly. Anyway, briefly, the other trinkets we're going to go over is the Shard of the Marble Throne. Now, I haven't used this before, and it's a lot to read and to kind of wrap my mind around, so I'm hoping this will actually do what I haven't accessed with the Legion yet. But what it says here is plus 30% crit chance multiplier if at Bloodlust 6 or 7. Minus 30% bleed and blight amount received if at Bloodlust 0 or 1. Plus 30% stress received if at Bloodlust 3 or 4. On attack crit, you are going to shift to mode Legatus. While in Legatus, use Stoic Duty to swap between 0 and 7 Bloodlust. Skill effects scale past their normal. Legatus lasts until battle end. So in theory, what this should do, this should, when you get a crit, allow you to swap between 0 and 7 Bloodlust. So you're going to get a crit. Legatus is going to proc, which I guess gives you either 0 or 7 Bloodlust. And then you should be able to swap between them while using your move skill replacer, Stoic Duty. So this, in theory, should work by being able to allow you to basically swap before you take any action on a turn between 0 or 7 Bloodlust and kind of choose what you want to do from there, which should be interesting. Hopefully it works the way I think it does, and I'm not missing something. Otherwise, I'm running a Berserk Charm for damage. But anyway, I've got kind of a generic Mark comp. I think that's probably the best quest I can go on. Basically, I'm trying to pick a Mark comp where the Legion shines at all of his rolls as I kind of try and show off what he can do.
Even the fiercest beast will lay down when it is not eaten. Steal their food.
Steal their food. No, that's mean. Wow.
Mechanical
Best
hazards
first step
by evil
ever.
intent.
Alright. I'm going to try and find some combats here. Hey, there we go. Cool, we're going to go take this dead end. It should have enough combats in it. I should have light up. Alright. So you'll notice I'm in Bloodlust 1. This is kind of your Bloodlust counter. You've seen it in the combat skill section. What do I want to do? Well, best way to go for now is to mark targets. Alright. Well, I am also gonna mark target. Because can't go wrong with that. I'm actually just gonna kill a bitch.
Executed with impunity.
Not bad. Sad you're stressed out already. Okay. I typically well, I'm gonna set up like I'm gonna use Blood of the Legion twice. Get some Bloodlust going. Typically I like to bounce around between like Bloodlust 4, right around there actually, because then I can like de-escalate that Bloodlust down to about 2 and access the other moves, or I can pump it up to 6 if I really, really want potency. But for now, crit activates shit, so I'm gonna try Vedivici, see if I can crit.
Another abomination.
Did not get a
cleansed
crit.
from our lands.
Very unfortunate. Now, typically, your Bloodlust is gonna last even outside of combat. So you're gonna, basically, if you leave off at like 4 Bloodlust in this combat, it will stay at 4
Be gone, fiend.
until the next turn you take. Okay, and I'm going to go up one more. Marshal Pride is typically a fun move here. I'm going to just... No, that might not. That might miss. I'm going to use Gut Them because we haven't shown it off yet.
Another one falls.
Did not get any bonus damage, still got the kill. Alright.
Success so clearly in view. Or is it merely a trick of the light?
Next combat, let's go. Alright. Now we get the bonus of starting in Bloodlust 4, so I can kind of show off the difference in things. I'm actually going to go into guard mode for no reason. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to give him 2 turns. I made him Lovestruck! Oh, that's so lucky. Aw, Lovestruck is great for him. Plus 50% guard duration. Holy shit. If you look into this, keep it. Lock that shit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go Stoic Duty to de-escalate this Bloodlust. I'm going to go 2 so I can access Tetsudo Formation. And then I'm going to guard everybody. Which is super awesome. Second turn, unfortunately, I can't do what I wanted to in that second turn. Wait! It refreshes that. So I can Hells, yeah, Legion Standard. Let's superify the Musketeer. Why not? No, I just want to mark a guy. Because I might pull him too far forward. I don't want that.
Decimated.
The price is mine. Okay, take it. No second place for you.
Unnerved, unbalanced.
That was a terrible joke. He's a very, very tanky Guardian. That is not good, though. That crit is not fun. You're the Black Plague, too. You unlucky son of a bitch. Oh, God. Okay, we're gonna mark you. We're gonna use that. Should work out.
Mortality clarified in a single strike.
Which disease got overwritten? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You had 3. Isn't that the max? Don't die on me before my healer can act. Whoa. So much poison. No. No, we don't like it. We don't like it. Okay. Well, I need Bloodlust. Got them, should work just fine.
Obliterated.
We're gonna heal you. Oh no. That was wimpy. Oh no. Okay, well, you just want to kill. Doesn't matter you weren't marked. You got another round, so hopefully we can get to you quick enough. That should help.
Their formation is broken. Maintain the offensive.
Alright. I'm not sure what my... I might have to look again. I'm not sure what my Bloodlust was when I used Tetsudo formation. If it was a 1... No, I only got down to 2. So it was enough to give me an extra turn, which is nice. So that's fun. Hey, I didn't know that was my objective.
If only treasure could staunch the flow of
Alright, third combat, here we go.
corruption.
What have I not shown? I have not used March of the Damned, and I have not used Marshal Pride. So we're going to try and get those. March of the Damned is going to be... Oh, you don't have anything in here. Okay. Third combat is a little farther than I thought. Well, we're going to get this in the way. I didn't think I'd be backtracking on camera. Excuse me.
The way is lit. The path is clear. We require only the strength to follow it.
Alright. And here goes.
The light. The promise of safety.
So starting at 3 Bloodlust, I'm gonna have to... I think I'm gonna have to get rid of 1 to use what I want to begin with. Let's give him 2 turns. Also, lucking into that super de-stress twice. What are the odds? Ooh. Okay, so we're gonna actually pull you to the front and mark you, so he can gut you onto round 2. We are going to mark you because I don't like you. That's for later, though. So we are gonna have to de-stress or de-escalate our Bloodlust. Okay. Where's the Damned? Where's Bloodlust? Oh, I'm not in the ranks. Well, fuck me sideways. Alright, I guess I'm doing this.
Destroyed.
I didn't think is what that is. If I were in the right ranks, I would be able to do that. Hey. Interesting. Well, I'm gonna do this then. This is when Bloodlust 1. That's weird. Because I believe that was a crit. I wasn't paying enough attention to, like, fucking capitalize on it, but I believe that was a crit, and that's why it took me to Bloodlust 1. Am I officially in that other mode? Am I in Legatus mode? So, Stoic Duty. I'm going to use Stoic Duty next turn and see what that does for me. It may be exactly what I'm looking for. This is a learning experiment, guys. It's a learning experiment. Please don't die. Please don't die.
Annihilated.
Alright. 4 healing. I should have given him some higher level allies.
How quickly the tide turns.
God, please no. God, please no. Don't do this to me. Not in this. Not in the video. No. Don't do this to me. Get rid of that. Jesus Christ. Get rid of that. Yikes. Give him a buff. He needs all the help he can get right now. Alright, Stoic Duty. Is that going to bring me to 7? I mean, technically, it says 6, but yeah. Fuck yeah. Okay, so that's pretty cool. This does only last at the end of the battle, and it will reset me to Bloodlust 1. So it's an interesting way to get things done. I'm actually going to use Gut Them on you. Are you kidding? Shit. Yeah. No! I forgot he was guarding.
In this sprawling tomb.
Oh shit. This does not happen every day. Well, sorry, I'm lost on my head right now because I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna get the the combat skill footage. Well, once I finish this fight, which shouldn't be that bad, I'll be able to think straight. Wow, that does not happen every day. I knew I should have brought some, like, higher level allies.
They can be beaten.
She was only healing for like 3 or 4 HP. I have overlooked this party comp slightly. But anyway, you should definitely play the Legion. He's a lot of fun, and he is not as frail as I made him look. I promise you. He got a lot of crits and no healing backup. Anyway, have a good weekend. Thanks for watching. We've got another Let's Play video coming up on Wednesday, and another guy coming up next Saturday. Thanks for watching. Stay frosty.